Ads don't stop working out of nowhere. They just get tired. I've ran a 7-figure agency for the past 5 years, worked with over 100 franchisees, and today I'm going to tell you everything I know about how to stop ad fatigue. Most franchisees wait till their ads are completely dead before they change anything. By then, your cost to acquire a customer is already getting ugly. In this video, I'm going to show you 3 things. First, what ad fatigue actually is and what order to change things in so you don't ruin your already working offer. Second, some early warning signals we watch every week so we can catch your fatigue before your CPL increases. And lastly, the simple refresh system we use so we can make new creatives without having to start from scratch every single time. By the end, you'll know exactly when to swap creatives, what to swap, and how to keep leads coming in at a good cost. Starting from the top, what is ad fatigue? Ad fatigue is when people have seen your ads just too many times. This means your offer could actually be really good, but your creatives are just tired. In local markets, this actually happens faster. This is because it's cheaper to reach your audience. Most studios or franchisees are maybe spending $1,500, $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $5,000 a month, but their ad radius is like 5, 10, maybe 20 miles. The smaller your radius and the higher your ad budget, you're just blasting the audience with ads. So your ad creatives are going to fatigue really quick. People are seeing the ads multiple times a week. So when it comes to actually fixing ad fatigue, what do we change first? There actually is a correct order and what to work on. First, you change the creative. Now I know that sounds broad. What I'm talking about is the actual photo or video inside of the ad. Now, if this didn't improve results, then we change the copy. I'm not talking about your actual offer. We're just simply rewording what your offer is or what you're advertising in the copy of the ad. Now, if we still haven't seen an improvement, then we're going to focus on the headline, the hook, or the name of the product. A headline is what's on the top of your landing page, or maybe it's in big bold letters right at the top of your video. Your hook is those first 1 to 2 seconds of the video, or the name. Maybe we're just kind of repositioning your product or your service, or just saying you're in a different side of town, maybe using different language. All very small tweaks. Now, you only move on to the 4th step if you've gone through multiple rounds of testing of the first 3 things I just told you. If none of those things are working after multiple rounds, then we're going to look at things like your pricing, maybe any kind of sales, promotions, or bonuses that we can give the lead. But it's crucial. You don't just jump ship, change your offer discounts and things like that just because you're not getting results in the first 30 days. When your ads fatigue, we don't change the whole business. We're going to rerun the same offer with a different video, different photo, different copy, new headline, maybe make some changes to the landing page. It's important that you don't even touch any of that deeper stuff unless you've gone through multiple rounds of testing. That's the frame. Not necessarily a bad product or business. You've just driven past the same billboard way too many times. Look, we've worked with hundreds of franchisees. I've worked with them from pre-sale all the way through after pre-sale when they're open, and then even people that have reactivated their marketing after 2-3 years of not doing any marketing, and they've been open for a while. The number one thing that's really disheartening to see is when they absolutely crush it in their pre-sale, but right after they open, their ads are doing really, really great, and then they continue on with their marketing. They haven't even had their studio open for a year, and now they're saying things like, something's wrong with my market. Our audience just isn't understanding us. We need to change our offer. We're trying to think of new sales, new promotions. Then you see them start doing things like firing some of their staff because they think they're not just closing leads, whatever it may be. When really at the end of the day, it's just ad fatigue. The problem is if you don't know how to identify the ad fatigue, you're going to start looking internally and thinking it's something wrong with your offer when in reality, you bought into a franchise. The reason you bought into a franchise is because it's a business in a box. They have a proven strategy, a proven model that you want, and it's actively working for other franchisees around the country. So look at ad fatigue. I promise it's probably a better chance of your ads not performing well rather than your whole entire market just decided we don't want to buy your offer overnight. So you know how to correct fatigue and actually work on your ads. Now let's talk about how you can identify it early so you don't just wake up to a super high cost per lead out of nowhere. So we watch 3 sets of numbers each week. And the first one has to do with the attention, your hook metrics. Is your ad getting the attention of your lead? So we're actually going to look at the hook rate, which is 3-second video views divided by impressions. This formula tells you of all the people seeing your ads, what percentage of those views are people making it through the first 2 to 3 seconds. It basically tells you how good is your hook. If your hook rate is dropping 20 to 30% out of nowhere, people have seen the hook too many times, and it's an early sign of fatigue. They're going to become uninterested with your ad. The second set of metrics have to do with your engagement and your clicks. The metrics we're looking at are your click-through rate, your cost per click, your impressions, and your reach. So if your click-through rate starts to decrease, but your impressions and reach are staying at the same level, that means that you're getting less clicks and the same audience size, same amount of views, so people are becoming a little bit less interested. Very similar to your hook rate decreasing. Now what happens when your click-through rate goes down? You're gonna get less clicks, which means you're spending the same amount on your ads, which also means your cost per click is going up. This means that you're getting the same people, but a worse response, which overall equals your ads are fatiguing. Now the last set of numbers is very simple. It's quite literally your cost per lead. So if you're spending the same amount on ads, your audience is the same size, you're using the same offer, your landing page conversion rate is still converting at the same percentage, but your cost per lead is increasing, your ads are fatiguing. The way we understand this is that your creative is tired, nothing's wrong with the business. So I told you how to fix fatigue, I told you how to identify it early. Now let's talk about actually making the creatives. We're going to prep new creatives like this. 80% of our effort is going to go into making hooks, the first 1 to 2 seconds of the video. And then 20% of our effort is going to go into making the meats. This is the middle part of the video. We're not going to put too much effort into the call to actions, the last part of the video. We're going to reuse call to actions that we know already work. Let's say you're using a 15-second, maybe 20-second video ad. If your call to action is 5 seconds on a 15-second video, that's 33% or a third of the entire video. The Meta algorithm or TikTok algorithm are going to optimize your results and basically push your ad out the more it gets more through plays. We want to have people watch 100% of your ad or 100% of your content. This goes for organic content as well. If your call to action is a large portion of the video ad and you use the same call to action over and over and over again, and people can predict it, even if they like your offer, they like your service, they like who you are, they're going to skip right before the call to action or right after the call to action starts. This is going to kill your engagement because the algorithm is going to notice that people are only watching 66% of your video. Or if it's a 20-second ad, they're only watching 75% of your video and then they skip. No one ever makes it through. So once you've kind of mastered this whole thing with identifying fatigue early, fixing fatigue early, something that you want to do is work on creating new call to actions. They're the same thing, but just rewording them and then shortening them. Make it only 3 seconds long. You want to get really good at saying them quick, fast, and having a few alternatives. In practice, this is what it actually looks like. We're going to write about 50 hooks. Now, the best thing you could do is actually pull winning hooks from previous ads. So if you have ads that worked really well, go get the hooks from those ads and maybe write them slightly different. We're going to use those again. At the same time, if you make a lot of organic content, you put hooks in your organic content, we're going to pull all the winners from all those reels and TikToks you've been making. Putting all the effort into the hook is actually very easy. Write all the hooks down, then pull your phone out and go record. Just record them one line at a time. Now, when it comes to the meats, the middle part, we're only going to write like 3 to 5 meats. Then go record all your meats, and we're going to edit and stitch together all of your hooks, all of your meats, and now you have your new batch of testing. I go in much more depth about how to actually write, create, and record these ad creatives in this video that you can go check out. This is how you go from only being able to make a few new ads a month to being able to make dozens and dozens without burning out yourself or your team. If you're thinking you don't have the time to make that much creative, you're wrong. You don't need to make new ideas. We just need small tweaks on your current ideas. So using the same meat, but new hooks, new intros, new visuals, changing up the talent inside the video. That's how businesses can run the same offer for months or even years and still be successful. Now, if you think your business is really small and you're not even spending enough to deal with fatigue, you're wrong again. A tired ad with low ad spend is just burning your cash. Having ads that fatigue in a small audience is even worse. So if you're not spending enough on ads and you're not refreshing your creatives, you're just killing your audience. When you spend a really low amount, it's gonna stick and grab onto just a very small audience, and they're gonna see your ads over and over and over, especially if you don't set up your campaigns in the right way to go out and get new people and get more reach. So you really need to focus on refreshing your creatives. Quick recap, ad fatigue is just tired creative. Doesn't mean you have a bad offer. In local marketing, like franchise marketing, it happens fast. When you go to work on your ad fatigue and work on the creatives, change things in order. Go creative, copy, name and positioning, then, only then, do you touch things like sales, promos, and pricing. For best results, watch the early signals. Look at your hook rates, click-through rates, cost per clicks, and overall, your cost per lead. This will literally tell you when your ads are about to fatigue. And finally, you beat fatigue by having a system for making new creatives. This is by constantly making new hooks, making reusable meets, and reusable call to actions. You put all the variations together, you have dozens of ad creatives that you can constantly test, reuse, and focus on using what works and not having to start from scratch every single time. If you do this consistently, cost per lead will just be a little small speed bump that you can correct in under a week instead of month-over-month nosedives. Then, as a franchisee, you're not going to be sitting there worrying that you bought into the wrong franchise or you need to change your offer, need to change your pricing, fire someone in your studio. You'll know it's just ad fatigue. If you want all of this built for you, click the link below and book a call. We'll audit your current accounts and install our marketing systems into your business and ensure that you always have a good cost per lead and ads that don't fatigue.